here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold night, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades flown down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. For my mother's suffering,
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend, the sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. Maybe tomorrow you can dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. Dream all the dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through. Have little faith in you.
When I go in to pray, I look for my good Jesus, and when I close my eyes, I can feel all His light. I open my heart for all He has to say. He shows me the best way I can enjoy my life. Jesus, they never we apart. Please bring all your light to shine inside my heart. Jesus, Jesus, I can be content. I have your endless love and your protecting hand.
Quand la nuit tombait à Capharnaüm, la maison de pierre si simple, un foyer commun, s'emplissait de paix, dans son cœur chacun recueillait les paroles de lumière du Maître divin. Il me plaît de rêver, de me trouver aussi aux côtés de Jean, Simon, Jacques, André et Lévi, de planter dans nos âmes la sémence de la foi. La sémence que Jésus nous donne et qu'un jour poussera. Et je n'imagine enfant assez comme elle, puisque telle est la loi, et pendant ta prière en famille, tous les jours on se reverra. Et je m'imagine, enfant, à cet endroit-là, peut-être Jésus m'inviterait à sortir un soir dans les jardins de chez Pierre. J'entendrai sa voix à dire: tu sens cette brise, la lune, tu la vois, il faut repartir tout comme elle, puisque telle est la loi, et pendant ta prière en famille, tous les jours on se reverra. Et pendant ta prière en famille, tous les jours on se reverra.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. And before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place if possible. Our meeting will have 30-minute presentation followed by a Q&A. Then, after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. We would like to announce that our talk is being retransmitted today by Continental Concafras Americas through their Facebook, and is also retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. East by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. And now we have a special invitation for those who want to learn more about Spiritism. Get to Know Spiritism is a course that is free and online that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. And the next class, it's going to be this Saturday, November 18th, and the theme for this meeting will be mediumship. So if you are interested to know more about it, please join us. The registration link will be posted in the chat. We offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the Gospel at Home study meetings. By posting in the chat, you can request it. So please let us know. You are also welcome to include yours or someone else's names on the list of positive vibrations, incarnate or discarnate. The person indicated will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. So please find the link in the chat and you can post as many names as you wish. So the topic of today's meeting is Jeremiah and the false prophets. From chapter 21, there will be false Christs and false prophets, item 11, which will be facilitated by our sister Marcel from Oshawa. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will be addressing the questions at the end of the talk. And now we would like to invite our tonight's speaker, Marcel, who will also be doing our opening prayer. Welcome, Marcel. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here. And I'm really excited for this topic today.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so see you in the end
See
of
you
the talk,
later.
okay? Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I invite everyone to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Elevate your thoughts. Heavenly Father, we would like to thank you for the opportunity to be here one more Tuesday in order to learn more about your teachings. We thank you for your love, your mercy, and for everything you have done for us. We also thank you for this day, for our lives, our health, our family, and our friends. May you can bless all of us in our inner necessities, and may we become a better person due to your example of love and forgiveness. We ask the good spirits to bless and inspire this tonight's talk, and may we can finish this better than when we started. Once again, we thank you for everything you have done, and we ask you to stay with us today and always. So be it. Okay. Tonight, as Larissa said, we are gonna talk about the chapter 21st. Oops. Chapter 21st. There will be false Christ and false prophets. And the item is 11, Jeremiah and the false prophets. Is the last item of this chapter. We have, I think, the last month and this month we have the previous talks talking about this same lesson, and we are gonna finalize the chapter today. And I ask you to may the peace of Jesus be with each one of us, and we ask the good spirits to help us in this start that we are going to do in between us, doing to our evident ignorance. So today we're gonna talk about two messages, two very important messages that Kardec invites us to reflect deeply on this topic. And one message is from Jeremiah, and another one from Protector Spirits Louis. So I'm gonna read the first message, and then we are gonna do some comments about this. Okay, so this is what the Lord of hosts says: do not listen to the words of prophets who prophesy and deceive you. They publicize the vision of their hearts and not what they have learned from the mouth of the Lord. They say to those who blaspheme me, the Lord says to you, shall have peace, and to all those who walk in the corruption of their hearts, no evil will touch you. But who amongst them has heeded the counsel of God? Who has seen his and listened to what he has said? I have not sent such prophets. They run by themselves. I have not spoken to them. Yet they prophesy from their own head. They prophesy from their own head. I have heard these prophets who prophesy lies in my name, saying, I dreamed. How long will this fantasy be in the hearts of prophets who prophesy lies, and whose prophecies are only the deceptions of their own hearts. Therefore, if these people or a prophet or a priest ask you and say, "What is the burden of the Lord say?" The Lord say, "You yourself are the burden, and I shall cast you far from me," says the Lord. Okay, so what's the meaning of this message? The well known prophetic spirit of Old Testament in the Bible was instituted when Israel was divided into the two empires, Judah and Israel. So this period lasted about 500 years, and many prophets were raised up by God. Among several prophets, we can highlight Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Superior spirituality, together with Kardec, demonstrates the importance of identifying false prophets and the influence of prophecies in our lives. So, the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 21st, is entirely dedicated to this subject, where several items were listed to deal with. Know the consequence of the work of the prophets, whether they are good or bad, knowing the mission of the prophets, investigate the prodigy of false prophets, show us the existence of false prophets in all time of humanity. It warns us not to believe in all spirits, as it speaks of the existence of false prophets in a spiritual world. It tells us to the characteristics of the true prophets. So, charlatans, and this is the second message. Charlatans and impassionate persons abuse the gift of prophecy by predicting good and agreeable things in return for money. So many people in that time were like predicting the future in return of money. And this was really common, this type of fraud in the Jewish nation. In their ignorance, the poor were unable to distinguish good prophets from bad ones. So we need to be careful with our attitudes, because our choice will reflect on our day tomorrow. What am I doing with my day today? How am I behaving? Am I being a false prophet? How are you using the mediumship you were giving? Am I being useful, or am I just making myself useful in the eyes of others? And deep down, I know that I'm not. We know that the biggest charge we have is that of our own conscience. And we need to be attentive and at peace with our conscience, because those who deceive are never at peace with themselves. The medium must be careful not to give the wrong message, any message that it is at odds with what Jesus taught us in his gospel. They cannot change the message for money, because they didn't pay for that. Continuing the message, one of ways that imposters or fanatics deceive people. People did not think about contesting the veracity of their dreams or visions. Prophecy were very natural, and prophets were always invited to speak. In that time, people just want to know the future, so they did not have like enough knowledge to think or to contesting people about the message they brought to them. So we need to be careful about our choice, about what we hear and what we will believe. Let us learn to distinguish good spirits from bad so as not to become false prophets. The spiritist needs to be cautious and study. This is one of the Kardec message for all the spiritist people, is to learn to study. So we need to educate ourselves, because knowledge is what will lead us to the Christ. And we must also pay attention to our thoughts, as many times through them we are suggested by discarnate spirits. So pray and always watch. This is a message in 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. They are friends. Do not believe every spiritist, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. So the prophets of the Old Testament were murdered, especially those who brought the word of God, as they had the role of telling the people that they were making mistakes. The gospel of Jesus came to renew us, transform us. The true prophet did not come to shine, they come to help, came to love. The true prophet does not shine the light on themselves, but shine the light on Christ, on Jesus, as he is our guide and model. You have studied this here already. We must observe our attitude towards people and do not forget that we are responsible for the knowledge we acquire and the life we lead. So we need to think, is this message that this spirit is bringing tells me about love, tells me about Jesus' teachings? So this is one of the ways that we can test if the spirit is from God. And continues the message. There are discarnated spirits who love to delude when they get the chance. Mediums can be deluded if they do not take enough precautions. Before anything else, learn to distinguish between good and evil spirits, so that you yourselves do not become false prophets. We human beings, we are very curious, right? So we always are looking for something that it's gonna say about our future or our lives. So we need to be very careful in what we are gonna believe, what we are gonna hear, what we're gonna search for. So real prophets are all evolved spirits sent from God with the mission to support us, to instruct us. So Jesus, as a spiritual governor of the planet Earth, permanently watching over all of us, earthly creatures, at all time, send his emissaries, bringing valuable teachings, teachings of love. So if the message says something about love, you can think that it comes from a good spiritist. To this day, we see people who call themselves prophets, carrying knowledge that is not true, running away from the truth that liberates, the truth that Jesus taught us. It is our role to be careful not to stray from our path. We must follow true Christian teachings and behave in the best way possible. Now we have some questions and answers here from some books that was brought to us from Kardec. So from the Medium's book, why does good God allow evil spirits to communicate and speak evil things? The communication of the very worst spirits may furnish you with a lesson. It is for you to learn it and to turn the experience to your profit. It is necessary for you to receive all sort of communications in order that you may be taught to distinguish between good and evil spirits, and also to hold up a mirror to yourselves. So we need to analyze, we need to think carefully. Um, so uh, sometimes it is the bad spirits, evil spirits communicate is to us to observe, to analyze, and think this is not from God. So we need to be very careful about that. Spiritist books, these are questions 624. What are the characteristics of the true prophet? The true prophet is an upright man who is inspired by God. He may be recognized both by his words and by his deeds. God does not employ the mouth of a liar to teach the truth. So if the message is something that you believe that is something that is real, it comes from God, so it is a true prophet. But in the contrary, not. We need to don't believe in everything that we see. And the Spirit's book, question 625. What is the most perfect type that God has offered to man as his guide and model? The answer is Jesus. We know about that. So we always need to think about Jesus teachings, what he brought to us, his example. We need to follow his steps. We need to follow his example. So that's why we will become involved with the spirits one day, right? So Jesus answered. This is in Matthew chapter 24. Jesus answered, "What out that you Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and I will deceive many." So that's why Jesus said we need to be very careful and pay attention, because sometimes people has like a good speech, talk gentle, and maybe it's not the true prophet. We need to be very careful about that. So unfortunately, we still find many teachings that are contrary to the concepts that Jesus brought us, even though they are spoken in his name. It is important that we are aware of this aspect. What truly matters is what human beings are capable of achieving in relation to good and fraternity. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonder to deceive, if possible, even the elect. This is in Matthew again. So the prodigies of false prophets are based on acquired knowledge, on skill accessible to the worthily and the unworthily, as there are people who have special gift and talents, what we call mediumship, and both good and bad people can have it. So it's not only good people that, or good spirits, good people who has the mediumship, this faculty. No, bad people can have it too. And it's not about religions as well, okay? So the produce of false prophets originate from the simple application of the laws of nature. Laws known to science and laws still unknown to science. And the simple fact that we cannot explain some phenomenon does not mean that it is supernatural. This is what Spiritism refers to, as it goes hand in hand with science. And who are the false prophets? They are those who exploit the knowledge and the special organic faculties they possess to the advantage to their ambitions, their interests, and their desire for domination. They take advantage of the good faith of people who believe they are divine missionaries. The good accomplished reveals the degree of moral advancement characterizing those who are false or true prophets. So, if you see people that want to manipulate through their message, we need to be aware might be a false prophet. And how do we defend ourselves from false prophets? This is what Spiritism brings us with knowledge, because when we know, our mind is illuminated and blind faith is eliminated. So Kardec showed us that unshakable faith is only one that can face reason face to face in all areas of humanity. From the moment we know that we start, that we strive to understand, we will no longer be easy prey to those who perhaps show us wrong paths which are contrary to teachings of Jesus. As humanity becomes more enlightened, the number of false prophets decrease. Unfortunately, only time and this search for knowledge, which will come from each one, will gradually means that all these creatures can be unmasked, and all these baseless concepts that many insist on bringing to manipulate the mass will fall to the ground. So we need to study, we need to search for knowledge, we need to have all the information, the necessary information, so we can distinguish between the bad and the good prophet. Natural and proof mediumship. As the individual evolves and becomes more moral, he or she acquires physical, psychic faculties and consequently increase his or her spiritual perception. This is what we call natural mediumship. Many, however, are granted psychic faculties as a divine grant. They did not conquer them, but received them on loan in advance in a precarious possession, which depends on the way in which they are used, on the way in which the individual fulfills the task, those who committed to he or she assumed. This is in front of my I can read the rest. So it calls the second one, it calls the proof mediumship. The natural is the one that it's more like when the spirit comes, like the person becomes more evolved, it the person receives this natural mediumship, but the proof, it's the one that needs to be like, the person needs to be very careful and not use the mediumship in a wrong way. So don't trade for money, don't be a false prophet. And the relationship between spirits and men are constant and have always existed since the beginning of and is in different civilization. There are facts reported in the Old Testament, such as Moses, who was a great medium. The prophets major of minor of the Old Testament brought a lot of mediumship in their speech, in their book in the Bible. It is a faculty that many people bring with them at birth, regardless of the religion or life guideline they adopt. It's an organic characteristic. Spiritual mediumistic practice is one that is exercised based on the principle of Spiritist doctrine and within Christian morality. So this means that for us, it's important to understand that mediumship is not an attribute of Spiritist doctrine. It can appear in different creatures, in different religious beliefs. So this is a path that we have to tread with caution so as not to be manipulated by less evolved spiritists. Let us be careful because we can even find in spiritist doctrine medium who do not make good use of their faculty, their gift. This faculty was granted to benefit others and not oneself, forgetting oneself to the detriment to others. We must be attentive to take advantage of our opportunity and realize that this life passes very quickly. So may we not live a materialistic life thinking in material possession, authority, and money as if it were the greatest purpose of our existence. And we know that it is not. And mystics of various current or saints were mediums. Almost all prophets, missionaries, messengers of love, justice, and truth were mediums in the sense that they communicated with the invisible. So they received communication from the invisible, passing on valuable concepts as they communicate with superior spirits. We emphasize that there is no problem communicating with an inferior spirits. The problem is being deceived by them. Sometimes we need to communicate, or the medium need to communicate with less evolved spirits to help these spirits, because sometimes they are lost. So hence the importance of the study. And let us be attentive to this communication with the spiritual world so that we define as truth those teachings that are in accordance with the teachings of Jesus, in accordance with what science can already prove. And we are those deceived mediums without study, without precautions. Distinctions of spiritists. The spiritists that reveal themselves through mediumistic organizations must be identified by their ideas and spiritual essence in their world. So therefore, let us be attentive, for each tree is known by its fruit, Jesus said. If I have to love and if I have love and humility, The consequence of this is selfless service to others. So serve as Jesus loved. This is our supreme goal without expecting reward. And now I brought this message is from a book, Living the Gospel, from André Luiz. He does some comments about each lesson of the Gospel according to Spiritism. And this light source is from the item 11 from the chapter 21st. So we're gonna read and talk a little bit about. So just as there were in the past prophets who spoke for themselves, far from divine inspiration, today there are those who are spiritual in their own way, far from the teachings of the Kardashian codification. Although they present themselves as authentic followers, they do not respect doctrinal principles, giving a false idea of Spiritism. They build institution with a Spiritist name, but they introduce other religious practices. They organize and lead doctrinal meetings, but they are fans of symbols and ritualism. They are willing to provide spiritual help, but add a useless act to the past. They give lectures and prayers in public, but they abuse voice modulation. They defend common sense and reasoned ferocity, but indulge in superstitious attitude. They practice charity to those in need, but they lack charity to their companions. They prescribe solidarity in the group, but do not renounce personalism. They exercise mediumship with ease, but do not subject it to careful analysis. They are lavish in speeches and publications, but miserly in discernment and quality. They extra fraternity in the stands, but create intrigues behind the scenes. They appear as representatives of the Spiritist doctrine and even handle words with brilliant and dexterity, but they speak for themselves without the legitimacy of doctrinal foundations, resembling luminous source, which enchants with the spectacle sorry, of lights and colors, but holds water saturated of impurities not suitable for use. So this beautiful message from André Luiz summarizes the entire lesson studied in the item 11 of the chapter 21 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. It clearly shows us what we must to do to avoid being false prophets, and also so that we do not allow ourselves to become to be deceived by them. We need to think about our the way we are behaving. We need to think that my speech needs to match with the way I'm acting. I don't need to say something and do all the contrary. Needs to be needs to have like I missed the word, but needs to have harmony in my act and my speech, and the thing that I'm saying and the thing that I'm doing needs to be the same in order to be not a false prophet but a true prophet. And to finalize, uh, I need this bigger. Thank you. it's it's very small to read. So it's just a message from Emmanuel. He says that it is the Spiritism itself that invents its own hell or creates the beauties of its heaven. So it's up to us to create our hell or our heaven. It's up to us. We need to know about what am I doing, what I need to do. Am I following Jesus' teachings? Am I being a good person? All these things need to be in our mind. And don't forget, we need to start always. When we get in the Spiritism, we think, oh, I'm gonna do some course and I'm gonna finish and yeah, I'm gonna receive my certificate or diploma. No, for the Spiritism doctrine, we need to start forever. Even when we go to our real life, we don't rest. We start always, in order to become a better person, in order to learn from Jesus' teachings and Jesus' examples. Okay, this is, I want to say thank you, and this was the message that I brought. I hope you guys could understand. Sorry for my reading. I was a little nervous.
Hello, Marcel. I'm back. Thank you so much for your talk today and to talk about this topic. I feel like this whole chapter, right? Like we are studying about this and how to recognize those false prophets. And one thing that really caught my attention in one of the message that you brought was telling about that when the message is received, that the message will like if it's like a message that it's not whatever the message is, like I think there was saying something about like that is it serves as our mirror to
Yes.
ourselves. So I was like, oh wow, because it's really whatever we choose to believe, right? It means that that's kind of where our
Okay.
level of evolution is as well,
Yes.
right? So
Mhm.
so like you were saying, if we are studying, if we know the truth, but we are not putting to practice, or we are not really putting that like in our lives, in our daily lives, we tend to be, deceived by
Bad
these
spirits.
other, yes.
Mhm.
So we have some questions. People are
Mhm.
very interested in this topic.
Okay.
So the first one here, there is actually two here that it's kind of connected, or maybe three, but I will start with this one. So it's from our friend Marcella, and
Mhm.
she's asking how to recognize false prophets. And before you answer that, so our friend Rodrigo also saying, how can we protect ourselves from the influence of bad spirits? So I feel like both of them
Mhm. Are connected.
yeah, are connected. So if you can kind of help us on that.
Yeah, as we said, and when I was studying, I learned this that to recognize false prophet, we need to know their what they are saying and what they're acting, and if it what they are saying and acting is related to Jesus' teachings, with related to love, to fraternity, to help people, to charity, you can believe, you can trust, right? Because bad spirits, less evolved spirits, let's say that, they're not gonna come and just say things that, oh, help you, love you one and another, help the people who are in need. They wanna say like, oh, you're gonna win in a lottery, or you're gonna get married next year, or something like that.
Mhm.
They don't. they don't think, and they don't worry about like helping people. They want to say they think that they know that people want to hear, to listen, right?
Mhm.
So we need to be very careful and reflect on the message that these spirits bring. So you can through the study, we need to
Mhm.
study first. So when you study, we know which one is the Jesus teachings, so we
Mhm.
can analyze that carefully in order to
And we
recognize.
can also think about because, of course, we know that we are being influenced by the spirits in the
Mhm.
spiritual realm,
The time.
but we have also the incarnated spirits
Mhm.
as well, right?
Yes.
That are, just people in our lives. So I feel like it's the same
Yes.
advice, right? Like if you
Mhm.
have like around you people that say things, but they are like in the actions, they are not actually
Mhm.
doing. Um, it's not kind of a line of with
Yes.
the gospel, with the message like from Jesus. So then we could think that uh, that person is not being true to what it needs to be, right? So
Yeah, because their action and their speech needs to be in our harmony,
aligned,
right?
yeah, correct.
Yeah, and the message that I brought from Andrea Luiz, the source of the light, it says exactly this: that if some people say that I am a spiritist and I'm gonna open a spiritist center, but I do a lot of ritualism or symbolism or something, that spiritism does not bring us any ritual, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
don't have a ritual, we don't have any of the symbols or anything, nothing about that. So it for incarnate, we need to think about what they are saying, what they are doing, and for the discarnate, we need to uh, listen and carefully analyze the contents of the message.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rodrigo's questions was how to
How can we protect ourselves from the
protect
influence,
ourselves.
right?
Yeah, praying, elevate our thoughts, our vibration, listen good music. Spiritism bring us lots of music, and I usually say that when I'm doing deep cleaning here, I usually put music and put my AirPods, and yeah, it's a good time for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm listening, or I put some audio books.
Mm-hmm.
We need to think and good and do good things that's gonna bring for our companions good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
If yeah, avoid saying like bad words,
Mm-hmm.
avoiding say doing bad things,
Mm-hmm.
because if you don't elevate your thoughts, your vibration, you are gonna like synchronize with like the bad spirits that are
Mm-hmm.
gonna vibrate.
We're going to attract, right?
Yeah,
Whatever we
yes.
are vibrating.
Mm-hmm.
And what you were saying, that's really interesting because it's basically what you are feeding yourself, right? Like if you are feeding yourself with good books and good messages, and you are praying, you are maintaining,
Studying.
even though like the life can be really hectic sometimes and you
Yes.
can be, anxious about the future. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are doing your part in terms of putting music and trying to meditate or,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
really focus on elevating the vibration, the
Yeah.
good spirits will be there with you, right? And will
Yeah.
kind of like try to calm your self, and that's how kind of we feel that we have that good. We're not abandoned, right? Like we,
Yes.
we feel
Never.
that
Mhm.
help and that support with us. Yeah.
Yeah, and related to that thing that you just said, we need to have faith and think that we are not alone. God knows everything, and everything happens for a reason.
There's a purpose, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we have others, but I feel like these two kind of resumes like everything that they were more
Okay.
wanting to know. So thank you so much once again,
Thank
Marcel, for
you.
your time today and for your talk. And see you next time.
See you next time. Bye. Have a good night. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye. So now we are going to move on to our spiritual treatment. So, what is spiritual care? So, PASS is a transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PASSes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from PASSes, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. And during the PASS, the water that you set aside will also be absorbed, the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. And we will now make a prayer in preparation for the PASS. That will be our closing prayer as well. So I invite everyone to join me in this prayer. So let's close our eyes and calm our hearts, elevate our thoughts to our Master Jesus and to the friendly spirits that are here with us tonight. Master Jesus, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to learn a little bit more about Spiritism and your teachings of love, charity. We ask that you may help us in our spiritual journey, that we may be able to apply your teachings in all areas of our lives. We also would like to put in your hands all the people that are currently in our prayer book, incarnate or discarnate. May each one of them receive your love and peace vibrations in their heart, assisting them with their inner necessities. May we be able also to receive all the benefits from the spiritual treatment that will start soon. And we ask that you protect us the week ahead, trusting that you will be with us today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The past begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil. Washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the pass. Thank you, God.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concafres Americas at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from Spiritism Canada and Spiritist Group Paths of Light. Have a good night.
Come on, my friend, come to the light. Here with all our heart and soul, let love. And this world already wonderful will be much more. Get up, look at the sky, in the earth where the flowers bloom with sunshine. Let's hold our hands and be together on this road. Then we take peace and love and spread it to the world. Good vibes, laughter and shout outs, show it to the world. Always follow the footsteps of our Lord. All roads that I shall walk on, sowing seeds of peace. This light that keep us shining will be bright and brighter. Will be bright and brighter. Will be bright and brighter.
Sing this song along with me. Just open up your hearts. Feel harmony and peace inside yourself. Life is a great school, teaching always to do good. Learning that in order to be happy, we need to help. Learning to accept that everyone deserves respect.